Ibn al-Mutahhar al-Hilli. Let me tell you something. Ibn al-Mutahhar was a great scholar, but perhaps one of his greatest contributions was a book that he wrote. Let me give you some context, right? The Mongol Empire, which ruled after the Abbasids. When these people came, who was their founder? Genghis Khan, very famous. The seventh successor of Genghis Khan was a Mughal emperor by the name of Uljaltio. Uljaltio was baptized as a Christian when he was born. Obviously, he was born in a house of royalty, right? His forefathers were all kings, and kings of the greatest empire the world had seen. When his mother gave birth to him, because she was Christian, she baptized him and sealed the deal. He's a Christian. When he grew a little older, he was a nationalist kind of figure. And so he said to himself, why am I a Christian? Our forefathers were all Buddhists, so he converted to Buddhism. After a while, he was introduced to Islam. Obviously, being the king of the Muslim empire, you get to meet certain people. And so he was impressed by some of the teachings of Islam, the Quran and whatnot. And so he became a Hanafi Muslim. By that time, the capital of the Mughal Empire had shifted and moved from Baghdad to various parts of Iran or Persia. Iran was also a Sunni nation. It wasn't Shia. Most of the people were adherents of various Sunni traditions and denominations. Uljaltio became a Hanafi Muslim until one day he noticed a very nasty confrontation and fight between Hanafi and Hanbali mullahs, and he was so disenfranchised, so upset at the level of the discourse and how disgusting it was, that he became sick and tired of this version of Islam. It was at that moment, brothers and sisters, that Al-Allama Ibn al-Mutahhar al-Hilli, may Allah be pleased with him, seized the moment. So he came and paid him a visit. He said, look, you've been changing religions every now and then. How about I introduce you to our version of Islam? He said to him, okay, if you want me to embrace this version of Islam, then I wish for you to write a book that proves your points and proves that Ali ibn Abi Talib was in fact the successor of the Prophet, and I shall give you just 1 week to write the book. Give me all you got. Allama al-Hilli, being the person that he was, said, challenge accepted. And he wrote a book called Nahjul Haqqi wa Kashfu Sidq. Look it up, it's available as a PDF online. The path of righteousness and the revelation of the truth. In the introduction of the book, he says, كَتَبْتُهُمْ امْتِثَالًا لِأَمْرِ السُّلْطَانِ. I wrote it because the king asked me to, and he ordered me, so I wrote the book. And he praises him a lot as well at the introduction of the book. So he wrote the book in which, and I've skimmed through the book, it's an incredible title, brothers and sisters. It starts from belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a concise introduction to Islam, if you like, or to religion. Start from belief in Allah all the way down to the day of resurrection and whatnot. But then the biggest chunk of the book is about all the verses that refer to the imamah of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And the rest of the book is about the evils, not just the merits of the Ahlul Bayt, but the evils of their enemies, which is incredibly important. Because if you just talk about the merits of the Ahlul Bayt, pretty much everyone subscribes to that. Everyone accepts it. There's no one in the world, not even non-Muslims, who will say we don't like the Ahlul Bayt once they get to know them. The problem is disassociating from their enemies. The problem is creating a clear boundary around what is truth and falsehood. So he wrote that book. Then he wrote another book, called it Al-Alfayn, and this book contains, get this, 2,000 pieces of proof and evidence that incontrovertibly prove the imamah of Ali ibn Abi Talib. 2,000. And he wrote the book. Some say his son then took that book and completed it, added another volume to it, and he gave it as a gift to Uljaltio. Uljaltio took the book. He went to all those other scholars that had been his cohorts, had been in his court the whole time. He said, here, take it. This is why I am now announcing that I am a Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib, and that the institution, the religious institution in Iran, shall now be headed by a Shia scholar by the name of Allama al-Hilli, which ultimately led to the conversion of the entire country. As a matter of fact, I was reading up on him, and I noticed 2 really interesting facts. And we don't have much time. But the first is that his name was changed after he became a Muslim. He changed it to Khuda Bandeh, Sultan Muhammad Khuda Bandeh. That's how he's known in Iran and in history books. When he announced that he was now a Shia, all historians belonging to the other schools of thought were now so upset with him having changed his name that they began to call him Sultan Kharbandeh, the slave of the donkey, instead of Khuda Bandeh. Look at the hatred and how it's spewed. The second point that's also critical is that historians now speak about Ul Jaltio or Sultan Muhammad Khudabandi's reign as being one of the most prosperous in the history of Iran. At a time when he introduced so many projects and initiatives across the Persian Peninsula, and everyone prospered. That's a strategic, tactical move, brothers and sisters. That's strategic. You work on an individual who's in a position of prominence. You teach him, you share with him, you don't force him, you don't do anything. You simply expose him to the truth. And then as a result, now every Shia in the Persian Peninsula owes a debt of gratitude to Allama al-Hilli. With knowledge, brothers and sisters, you can achieve the impossible. By having the knowledge of the Ahlul Bayt, by reading the books that contain the traditions of the Ahlul Bayt. I've always said this, if you're looking for a place to start with the books of Shaikh al-Saduq. Look up the books of Shaikh al-Saduq online. They're all available in English as PDFs. Read them, start there.